Hello, I'm Nostradamus, and welcome to Foreign Age News 2020. I'm surprised we made it this far. Sorry I've been away for a while. I had to dig myself out of the rabbit hole of despair for a bit, for my own sanity. I was feeling really bad, so I decided to be a clueless fucking moron for a couple of months and enjoy Christmas, New Year and my birthday. And it's been nice. I've not been worrying about anything. And I'm back now, mainly because of the woo flu, which is needs reporting on, because there's stuff that's not being said, which needs to be brought to everybody's attention. I think a lot of me anger was showing and coming out in a few of me recent videos, but I'm all chilled out now and I'm all ready for anything. Does anybody else think this is amazing? I don't do a video for 2 months. I'm preparing to do my first video of 2020. I'm just finishing my preparations and a 7.7 earthquake strikes. Blow me down. 7.7, 125 kilometres north-northwest of Lucia, Jamaica. Right on the fault. In the sea. But they felt that rattle and roll. Where's this one? Oh, look at these aftershocks. 4.7, 4.9, moving back down the fault. We'll look for tsunami warnings. No tsunami warning. But if you look at the national data bureau, we've got 1, 2, 3 in event mode. So there must be some fairly sizable waves coming off that one. I'd love to be on a beach there now. As long as it's not 20 fucking meters high, the waves. You know what I mean? There's these two fellas in the pub talking, and one says, I took my wife to Caribbean last year, and his mate said, Jamaica. And I said, no, she went of her own accord. Anyway, I wasn't going to do earthquakes, but I thought I'd mention that one. Might come back to that and have a look at it when I've finished going on about all the other crap. Okie dokie. So, coronavirus. Hong Kong to slash border travel as virus spreads. We're getting cases now outside of China, which didn't start in China. Anyway, if you're a doomer like me, you don't need me to go through all the ins and outs of the virus. More than 100 people have now died in China, with confirmed infections surging to more than 4,500. Now these figures was going about last night, so we've not had today's updated figures. But I've had the Doomatron working on projections, and it's not good at all. No, 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 no. The virus has spread across China and at least 16 countries globally. Germany and Japan confirmed they had cases involving people who had not travelled to China but caught the virus from someone who had. This had previously been seen only in Vietnam, which borders China and where someone was infected by his father who had travelled from Wuhan, excuse me, the city at the epicentre of the outbreak. Anybody got a tissue? How it's spreading, that map's going bigger and darker, like a cancer spreading around the world. What's the latest elsewhere? It nearly went from 2,835 on Sunday to 4,515 yesterday. I'll show you what the Doomatron has to say about this in a momento. There's all them diggers. Construction of the new hospital in Wuhan is taking place at breakneck speed. They're not telling us what they should be telling us. Look at that. 14 in Thailand, 6 in Japan, 5 in USA, Australia, Singapore, and Taiwan. That's 20 altogether. The 16 there, Malaysia, South Korea, France and Germany. That's getting a bit close to home for me. 2 in Vietnam and 1 in Nepal, Canada, Cambodia and Sri Lanka. It's these Malaysia, densely populated cities there with minimal health care. Vietnam, spread like bloody wildfire, it will. They won't be able to contain it. They won't even be able to attempt to contain it there. Cambodia, knackered. Knackered when it gets going there. Whoosh! Oh, it'll be tits up. This is my display of reported cases and reported deaths by the Chinese authorities in the last few days. On the 24th, they said that 830 reported cases and 20 fatalities. These are the official figures. 25th, 1,320 cases, 35 fatalities. Day before yesterday, 2,835 cases, 60 deaths. And yesterday, we was up to 4,515 cases, with 106 people died. And this has been going up by 75% each day, round about 1.75 times as many. So if we project this into the future, which there isn't one, I'm expecting tonight's figures to come out just shy of 8,000 cases. We're getting on for 200 deaths. And tomorrow we should be up to 13,707 cases with a good few over 322 deaths. If you carry this on, it's, what's the word? Exponential growth. So, the Doomatron has projected there will be over 1 million people will have caught it by the 7th of February, based on the current rate of increase of official Chinese data. Looking at the death rates, projected to be over 1 million fatalities by the 12th of February, based on current rate of increase of official Chinese data. Bear in mind, projections are based on conservative data and more locations not being taken into consideration. So I'm basing this on what the Chinese are telling us and it not spreading into other countries. So it could be far, 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 far worse. I'm not trying to frighten you. These are what I believe is about to happen. And it's better to try and prepare your heads for it. My head's prepared long ago. But we'll see how this plays out. But they're not going to tell you this on the news. They won't. They'll say it's under control, and then your neighbours will start falling over in the street. Right, so I was wondering, these people that's died, how long did they have the symptoms for before they died? So I'm going to talk about the time between when they started coughing or sneezing and the time of death, the average length of time. Because nobody knows. They should be getting an idea by now with 106 dead. So I thought of a little trick. So what I did was I moved this 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, and I looked at 2 days. So what this means, therefore, if the average length of time between catching it and you actually die from it is about 2 days, these numbers differ by around about a factor of 14. So that means 1 in 14 people that catch you die. And I looked at 2.5 days. And I looked at 3 days. And I looked at what was a little bit longer. Takes a little bit longer to kill you. So I worked it all out, and I've got another nice little chart for you. So here it is. Average length of time until death after symptoms first appear. So if it's 2 days, you've got a 1 in 14 chance of dying. 7% of the population dies if everybody caught it. 60 hours for 1 in 11 chance of dying. 9% mortality rate. 3 days, you've only got 1 in 8 chance. 12%. 84 hours, 1 in 6. Your odds drop down to 1 in 6. 16%. But if it's 4 days, the average length of time it takes for the virus to show symptoms and then kill you, you've only got a 75% chance of living. And I did actually hear one report yesterday that in one of the hospitals in Wuhan, 25% of the people being treated were in a critical condition. This is a bastard, this virus. This is going to make the Spanish flu of 1918 look like a fucking runny nose. Telling you. New hospital in a week. My ass. They're digging a fucking mass grave. Ready to throw all the fucking bodies in. Because they know what's coming, but they're not telling us. Perhaps it's not the virus you should be worried about. Got here the current world population going up, as it does. And each day on average, got another couple of hours to go yet on here, till midnight over here. It's about 225,000 at present, each day. Extra people. Births minus deaths. Extra people on the planet. 225,000. Now, if this virus pursues the path that the Doomatron has predicted, then deaths from the virus will surpass 225,000 births by the 10th of February, at which time the Earth's population will begin to decrease. Maximum biomass will have been achieved, and the shepherds will come and harvest us on the 10th, or maybe give or take a day or two. Now then, no Phone Age News would be complete without don't be having a fucking laugh with this internet now. Nostradamus, Calfat report, Calfat report, Calfat report, Calfat report. God, that's better. I'll be back in a few minutes. Just need to go and change my undies. I'm back. Right. While I've been away, I did leave one tour in the entrance, the rabbit hole, and I continued collecting the data from the NOAA satellites measuring methane levels. And contrary to what some tubers have been saying, that methane's going through the fucking roof, well, according to NOAA's data, it isn't. It's quite interesting though. Not exciting, but interesting. Me long time followers know I've been collecting data since March last year. Been on for 12 bloody months. Waste me fucking time. Here we go. This is spring last year. And it went through its normal cycle, as it does. But it's supposed to peak, and normally does, every year without fail, in November. But this year, it peaked in the second week of October. Now, I was expecting it to carry on rising through November, at least into December. But it started dropping earlier than what it normally does. What the bloody hell's going on there? And I mentioned this in one of my other videos. And I think it's got something to do with the solar minimum and the cosmic rays. I think the cosmic rays are destroying methane and keeping it in check. And if it wasn't for the solar minimum, it would have carried on going up quite a bit more. And it reached its peak in October, and it's been falling gradually. But last couple of weeks, it's showing a sign of back on the rise again. I zoomed in on just the since the peak. So this was second week in October, and it should have carried on going for another few weeks. It started to decline, and now it's stopped dropping now, leveled off a bit, and showing a little rise. And guess what? The highest decreases have been at the highest altitude, high up in the atmosphere, where the cosmic rays hit them straight away, where they're prone to getting hit. Not deep down near the ground, when most of them hit something else before they get there. You can see there's the peak. Early October, and then boom, straight down at 300 millibars in the atmosphere, and it's just leveled off again now. So this looks like it's going to start recovering and going back up again. When's that first reading? That was in June. So that's midsummer. So it hit its peak early. It's been destroyed by cosmic radiation. It's dropped down to where it was in summer last year, and it's going to go up. So I think the cosmic rays, due to the solar minimum, is keeping methane in check. And that's my theory. Spotted this little article on spaceweather.com yesterday. Polar stratospheric clouds, the good and the bad. This week, Arctic sky watchers have marvelled at the latest outbreak of polar stratospheric clouds, or PSCs. PSCs. Some observers call them daytime auroras because the clouds' colours rival northern lights. It's wonderful, except when it's not. PSCs come in two varieties, the good and the bad, both captured in this January the 5th photo taken by Rauno Parinen of Finland. There's a third kind, the ugly ones. You've got the good, the bad, and the ugly. But he didn't take any photos of the ugly ones because they weren't nice. The good PSCs are on top, made of harmless water ice. That's them nice shiny ones. I'd love to see them. Bit too far southern latitude to see out like that. Well, we never know like what's going on. The bad PSCs are on the bottom, a sinister looking yellow haze. Bad PSEs are also known as Type 1 polar stratospheric clouds, are made from tiny droplets of nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and other compounds. The surface of these droplets acts as catalysts, converting relatively benign forms of man-made chlorine into active free radicals. Free radicals, they destroy methane as well as ozone. Bad PSCs make ozone holes, passing harmful UV radiation to the surface of the Earth below. PSCs, when they do appear, are normally confined to the far north. Pieksämäki is way south of Lapland, so this is a very rare sighting indeed, says Pakarinen. Probably got some smoke from all the fires burning and the volcanic activity mixed in. But the chemistry in the atmosphere is so complex. No, I tried to work it out. I did A-level chemistry at school. I forgot it all now. Used to be quite good at it. Fascinating. If anyone can tell me what the jet stream was up to on the 9th of January, please leave a comment. That's so fucked up. Beetlejuice. 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 Nothing's happened. This is Beetlejuice last week. Continuing to dim. It's down to 1.506 magnitude. You can hardly see it now. Excuse me. Beetlejuice keeps getting dimmer and everyone is wondering what exactly that means. The star will go supernova at the end of its life. That's not projected to happen for tens of thousands of years or so. So what's causing the dimming? I don't know. Some people are waiting for signs to signal the end of the world. Is it just blowing off gas and hiding itself? In the gas it's blowing off? Or is it about to blow and signal the end of our civilization? We'll just have to wait and see. I think it's mad how all the heavier elements were made by stars just like that. They go through the hydrogen, turn it into helium, then they turn the helium into carbon. Because at the beginning of the universe there was only hydrogen. That's all there was. From the fuzz. And it cooled down a bit, the protons and the neutrons and the electrons come together, made hydrogen, that's all there was, and then gravity pulled it all together, made stars of hydrogen, that's all there was. And then when they blew up, it turned into helium, and that turned it into carbon, and then other elements until they get to iron, but when it gets to iron, it can't fission iron together. So it explodes, collapses because gravity takes over, and then all the other heavy elements are made that creates life, and it's just amazing. We're nothing. And, Beetlejuice might be getting ready to make some heavy elements. Perhaps there'll be a planet formed in that vicinity in a couple of billion years' time where life will spring up. And when if intelligent life springs up there, just in time to watch our sun go supernova before they destroy themselves. Wouldn't that be funny? Space is cool. Space rocks. No, I just want to talk about space rocks. Universe today. All these different asteroids. What are asteroids made of? Asteroids are made mostly of rock, with some composed of clay and silicates and different metals, mostly nickel and iron, but other materials have been found in asteroids as well. Asteroids are solid, rocky and irregular bodies that are the rocky remnants of the protoplanetary disk of dust and gas that formed around our young sun over 4.5 billion years ago. Much of the disk coalesced to form the planets, but some of the debris remained. During the chaotic fiery days of the early solar system, debris was constantly crashing together, and so small grains became small rocks, which crashed into other rocks, formed bigger ones. You'll have to excuse me. It's just the first time I've had a drink in 2 weeks. I find it helps the tongue, but hinders the brain as time goes on. But what I'm getting at is, when the solar system was formed, it's supposed to have been formed out of all the dust and bits. But if everything was all little bits, why isn't everything the same? I could understand the planets being different. You think that the gas giants formed nearest the sun and gradually drifted out, and the rocky planets formed further out and then drifted in and got into the orbits they're in now. That's in our solar system. But I want to talk about the leftover bits. Why aren't they all the same? Granted, about 75 to 80% of them are very similar, right, especially in the asteroid belt. But we've got carbonaceous asteroids. That's most of them. We've got silicaceous asteroids, tend to be metallic iron with some silicates of iron and magnesium. And bright metallic asteroids sit in the middle of the asteroid belts, mostly made up of metallic iron. Some are rocky, some are metallic, and then of course you've got the comets, which are mostly water. Well, why are they all so different? Which made me think, what if they used to be part of a planet billions of years ago, before our solar system was formed, hundreds of millions or billions of years before then, and these planets orbited a star, which, like Betelgeuse is about to do, went nova, blasted the planets to pieces, and all the water because of the different densities, went different distances, and all the water ended up forming into what are now comets, and all the crust, the planet, that formed all the rocky asteroids, and the planet's cores, all the iron, and the other metals, the heavy metals, and and when the planets got blew apart, they ended up with what we've got now. So I think they're not leftover bits from the formation of the solar system. The remnants of ancient planets, and that's why we see the differences. And some of them contain amino acids and sugars. Perhaps life's been going in this universe for 10 billion years or longer. Life didn't just start here on Earth, it started before it just landed here once the Earth formed. That's something to think about. And don't worry about asteroids hitting the Earth. Very unlikely. You should be more worried about hemorrhoids on Uranus. Now, we're going to go way, way back in time to April 2019. This is from Phone Age News number 3. My third attempt at global stardom and fame, which has failed so fucking miserably. As you can see, I predicted 0 precipitation for most of Australia. Good day, coppers. What happened in early November? Just gone. Today is the first day in history where it forgot to rain across the whole of Australia. A pure vanilla shrimp on the barbie, mate. We'll be alright. There'll be no rain today on mainland Australia for the first time in history. The unusual reading had the Bureau of Meteorology team scratching their heads. The team can't comprehensively identify a single day in our records where there hasn't been rain somewhere on continental Australia. Australia takes weather from all directions, which makes it a very rare occurrence for rain-bearing clouds to not hit the mainland. I bet it's the first time in a million years it's never happened. There is still some chance for rain to fall. That's the old article. Probably rain the day after. But a continent the size of Australia and not one single raindrop anywhere. You heard it here first. June, July, August, September. 7 months before it happened. My predictions are coming true. You heard it here first. All hail Nostradamus! All hail Nostradamus! Oh, let's get back to what I'm supposed to be doing, reporting on world disasters. Africa, locust plague, worst infestation in decades. Even cows are wondering what's happening. Hundreds of millions of locusts have swarmed Kenya, and the worst infestation to hit the East African nation in 70 years. devouring vital farmland in a region already suffering from an extreme hunger. The plague of desert locusts swarmed into Kenya from neighbouring Ethiopia and Somalia, where an outbreak on this level has not been seen in a quarter century. Biblical swarm of locusts plague Italian farmlands in worst infestation since World War II. Even cows are wondering what is happening, said Mdunda Makanda, who spent hours Friday trying to chase the locusts from his farm. Oh, fucking good luck with that one. Go away! Go away! Swarms of desert locusts fly above trees in Katika village, Kitui County, Kenya. That's like a tongue twister, isn't it? Try saying that after several pints. Katika village, Kitui County, Kenya. Kenya media showed farmers clanging pots and pans as police shot bullets and tear gas at a swarm of insects. They tried to shoot them with bullets. You're joking. I haven't read this before. The locusts have overrun about 70,000 hectares of land in Kenya, devouring crops and destroying farmland. As citizens face high levels of food insecurity. Well, they will now. They'll have fuck all left. One swarm in the northeast measured 37 miles long by 25 miles long. Oh my God. Farmers look across as swarms of pink desert locusts create a thick blanket covering trees on their farmland in Kenya on Friday. Bless you, Pudsey. You've not got weed flu, have you? I hope you haven't. You better not give it me. You go sniffing everywhere, you do. You catch out. You're not giving me a kiss tonight. A single swarm can contain up to 150 million locusts per square kilometre. There must be billions of them. Billions of them. There's that many in 1 square kilometre. And how big was that swarm? 40 by 60. 2,400 square kilometres. 2,400 times 150. That's quite a lot. In Ethiopia, farmer Ahmed Ibrahim, that's an uncommon name, isn't it? Swung empty water jugs at a swarm, feasting on his crop of cat and mildly narcotic leaf. He's growing fucking dope. Oh, them locusts are going to be listening to Bob Marley after when they met his plant. Hey, Buffalo Soldier. Shocking photo of a colony of huntsman spiders living together found in Australia. What's that got to do with fucking locusts? A changing climate has contributed to exceptional breeding conditions. Get away! No way! Nah, I don't believe that. There's climate change is. It's no such thing. It's just part of the natural cycles. Is he trying to kid? Climate scientist, a book by Sally Babika. Yeah. Blame the West. Blame the West for carbon emissions. For that. It's got nothing to do with us. Fuck off. Fuck off a book about. Idiot. Climate change. A lot of rubbish. The insects are now heading toward Uganda, where such an outbreak has not happened since the 1960s. And South Sudan, where almost half the country faces hunger as it emerges from civil war. Oh well, when they've got nought to eat, they'll be re-emerging into civil war by no doubt. Swarms of desert locusts fly up into the air from crops in Kenya on Friday. The locusts also are moving steadily towards Ethiopia's Rift Valley, the breadbasket for America's second most populous country, the UN said. Farmers have pleaded for help in getting rid of the pests. How are they going to get rid of billions of them? What the hell are they going to do? They can't do nothing. Things can only get better. Can only get better. Now I've found you. Right, nearly done. Didn't want to go without mentioning the Tal volcano, which put off quite an impressive blast a week or two ago. And they described this as a small volcano. And it's going a bit quiet now. I think it's going a bit too quiet. I think it could be building up. But they're saying it's small. But have you seen the fucking size of its caldera? This is the caldera. It's fucking huge. I don't care what you say. This is a dangerous bastard. This is. See? Look at that for a picture. When Tal exploded. I haven't bothered trying to verify this picture at all. I don't know whether it's made up or spruced up or whether it's an actual photograph of it. But if that is a true picture, and that's totally fucking awesome. Looks like a creature from hell coming down out of the sky. Here is the member of the Taliban. They named themselves after the Tal volcano because they also like blowing themselves up in order to terrorize people. Now, before I go, just want to show you a little something that you can play around with yourselves. I enjoy playing around with my little something now and again when I can find it. I'm here on Show Your Stripes, the site that shows graphically how the Earth has warmed since the Industrial Revolution, and wherever you are on the globe, you can check out how it's warmed in your vicinity, depending on the data that's available and been collected over the years. It's great. This is the globe as a whole, and it ranks from the dark strip is the warmest year. That was the El Nino 2016, I think. And some of the coldest ones was 1860 and 1900, something like that. And you can go on here, choose anywhere you want to look at. I'll check out my own place, Europe. But if it bumps up, it should show you Europe as a whole. Come on. What the hell's going on? Oh. How's that? Oh, I've left that up. Just have a look. Yeah, I forgot to go back and check on that bloody earthquake. Bloody night. Thought I'd nearly done. Doing well tonight. It took me a couple of hours. Right. Oh, do you have to pick a country? I was just going to have Europe as a whole. Oh, well. Can't just have England. It's got to be UK. Includes that bloody Scotland. It's quite detailed. England, yay! You can see you get more local, it gets more variable, but the trend is always the same. You get the hottest years in the last 10 or 20 years, and compared to the coldest years a long time ago. It's very detailed in America. USA. You've got every individual state. New York there. New York. Well, that's been quite variable. They get about the same weather as we do here in England. It's very variable weather. Tell you what, this has got to be the mildest winter I've ever known. We're in a cold snap at the moment, and how bad is a little bit of sleet? This is the coldest it's been all year. And in a few days, it's going to be spring-like temperatures. We're still in January. I can't believe it. I mean, it's wrong. I'm not complaining because I hate the cold. But summer's going to be just absolutely stifling. It really is. It's too warm. It's not right. It makes me feel uneasy. I know it should be a lot colder. This is the coldest it's been. The coldest it's been, it's got down to average. Anyway, check this out. If you're interested where you live and see how the climate's changed in your vicinity, if you want to. Let's see anything going on with this earthquake before I toodle off. What we had. Oh, not much else. Seem to be travelling westward. That cascade is still getting ready to go. It's got to go sometime. I think all these disasters are going to pop off one after the other. The Earth's been very quiet for too long. We've had it good. It's just the same three bobbing off. So I don't think there's any danger to life though. Not unless we get a 9.6 aftershock. Well, that's it then. I've covered just about everything I wanted to tonight. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. Please like and share my video. I think it needs to be shared because I'm usually pretty good with my numbers and I'm not usually wrong. And the government won't tell you what's going on. So we'll wait and see. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And please can some of you get the word out quick. What's going on? I may see you again. May not. Bye. Bye everyone. Love yous all.
And now, from Norwich, it's the Quiz of the Week. And this week, our star prizes included. And there they are, this week's star attractions that could be offered to our winning contestants tonight. Which will they choose? But now let's meet the man with the questions and the money. Nicholas Parsons.